Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. I want to talk about something that I've been getting a lot of emails about. People wondering what this is. Is there truly something on Mars here? And so I thought I would touch on it if you guys didn't know yet. So if you've been on Google Earth lately, and more to the point, Google Mars, which is a software tool that allows you to scour planet Mars, fly down to the surface, explore it. It's put together using actual orbiter images taken by satellites currently moving around Mars. And in one particular spot, which I'll put the coordinates to down below, it was discovered, and it doesn't get any more clear than this, a straight-up man-made base sitting plain as day down here on the surface of Mars, and you're seeing that here. And it's located in an area on Mars known as Yellowknife. And so, as you guys can imagine, and if you haven't heard about this, you're probably pretty shocked as you're looking at this right now. This would be, if legitimate, clear-cut proof of what we've been talking about for all of these years, that there are alien bases, or at least human bases, which would mean that humans have been to Mars, and we have smoking gun evidence of that here. But how could NASA let such a base slip through the cracks when we know for a fact that normally they airbrush these things out? Well, it was later discovered, as per a release from Google, that this was nothing more than a part of an April Fool's Day joke by Google themselves. And according to them, they photoshopped this base into the surface of Mars as a kind of a cruel joke, if you ask me, to, of course, get everyone's hopes up, and for one brief shining moment, let us believe that NASA had finally made that crucial mistake and given us proof-positive evidence that there are indeed these structures on Mars. Or at least clear evidence. We already have evidence that there are structures, but nothing as HD and high-res as this. So it came out that Google edited this base into the image. And, the big question is, and this was actually posed in another video recently put out by Dabu7, who I'm sure many of you know about, who, like me, thought it a pretty cruel and unfunny joke. And there's a few strange things about it, because, first of all, whoever did the photoshopping in this image had to put in hours and hours of work, because this thing, it legitimately looks like a base on Mars down to the smallest detail. And as we zoom in here, you can see the buildings, the shadows all correlate with the actual surface features on Mars, with where the sun is in the sky. You'll notice that there are no parking lots for cars or anything like that. There's actually dirt paths that have been carved out in the Martian soil, and there are these massive square solar arrays, these massive solar panels that you can see, and it's all interconnected. So all of these buildings here are connected by these, what look like wires of some sort, something like that. They're all connected, all of the buildings, the solar panels, and it's really well done, whoever did this. And so the first question is, why would Google choose to, of all things, on April 1st, their big April Fool's joke, why would they choose to Photoshop a base into a single frame, a single photograph on Google Mars, and then not tell anybody about it? That's the first strange thing. And another strange thing is that not that many people use Google Mars. They just don't. Apart from researchers like us, people who are looking for anomalies, and maybe just your typical science nerd who likes to look at planets and stuff like that, but not many people use Google Mars specifically. And even those who have, 99% of them have not found this base. Okay, because Mars is a gigantic planet, and the only reason that a lot of people are emailing me about this now is because Google, months later, finally revealed that it was an April Fool's joke. And so, again, that's the first question. Why waste hours at all creating this fake base on Mars doing it down to the very last detail for such a non-existent payoff when virtually nobody uses Google Mars and nobody would have been able to find it in the first place. And so I think maybe you guys get to what I'm hinting at here, because some have claimed that because of these sort of strange things in the way Google went about this, that this actually may be a legitimate base that actually did slip through the cracks while they were updating the mapping images on Google Earth, and they had already uploaded the new files to Google Earth and to the internet. They had to come up with a cover story. And so April 1st came and went. Nobody even knew about this thing. And it's not till months later that people are just now starting to email me about it. So that's kind of the conspiracy theory that's heading around right now, that this actually is a legitimate base that was accidentally uploaded to Google Mars, slipped through the cracks, because if you guys don't know, Google Mars is constantly updating with newer, higher resolution images, okay? It updates every single day. And as you can see in this particular image, this is a very high resolution part. So this is a recent update. And, as I'm looking at this, look, it has a satellite dish here. We see the shadow of the satellite dish down on the Martian surface. Again, whoever did this was a master at Photoshop. And we're not just talking about the buildings, which is more of the easier part, but the paths that have been carved into the Martian dirt. Kind of making it seem like there's a lot of foot or vehicle traffic. The solar arrays matching the shadows up with where the sun actually is in the original satellite image. And it's just strange. Who would go through hours to do this when nobody knew it was there and nobody uses Google Mars? It doesn't make sense. And that is kind of where the strange conspiracy has come about. And a lot of people simply aren't buying the April 1st joke, cover-up story. And it is really strange to me. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's not. And I'm sure many of you are going to say, Tyler, it's an April 1st joke. Just face facts. But again, the questions I've posed about this and the strangeness with the way they've gone about it are legitimate. And in my opinion, require legitimate answers. We've spoken about for years the fact that there are ancient ruins on Mars, we have multiple rovers on Mars, but we've also had whistleblowers who have come forward and stated that we have had humans on Mars for years. A 6-month flight, if that. And, it's said with the secret tech that we have now that we have the ability to get humans to Mars within just a few days. So plenty of people who have come forward and said, yes, there are bases on Mars as we speak. They are colonizing it. And we're just not being told. And so this is kind of one of those cases where the proof is sort of hiding in plain sight, being masqueraded as an April Fool's joke. That is where the conspiracy is. So you guys let me know what you think. It is strange. And like Dabu7 said, it's a pretty cruel joke if that is what it is. And it's a pretty lame joke at that. That's the best they could come up with. But your guess is as good as mine. But I definitely wanted to post on it because I get more and more emails about it every day. So let me know what you guys think. And definitely stay tuned because I've got about 3 new videos in the works. I'm going to be posting them as I get them done. I may have it up tonight, which is what I'm going to aim for, so stay tuned. And, I just want to lastly give a big special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon. I haven't spoke about this in a while, but if you remember, a few months back, YouTube went through a huge advertiser boycott, which almost sealed our fate, and the fate of millions of other YouTube channels. And so I set up a Patreon account, and, with YouTube still playing games, I'm barely making anything from ads anymore on YouTube, struggling to keep the channel going, and it's with the help of all of my people who have went over to Patreon and pledged a monthly fee, whether it be $1 or $2, and have really helped me keep this channel going. It really, really means a lot. So I want to thank all of you guys I've been sending out autograph stickers every day and other cool prizes, so if any of you guys want to stop over to the page and pledge a monthly amount to help support this channel, I'd really appreciate it. And, it'll allow me to focus 100% of my efforts to keeping the channel going and not pleasing advertisers and pleasing YouTube with family-friendly content, which is all they seem to care about today. It's one of the many ways that YouTube is censoring channels like mine, slowly pushing them out, and we're not letting them. So again, I just want to thank all of you guys. It means a lot. And yeah, stick around and I'll see you back in just a bit.